want to tell you a story about our pack and about these two in particular. I want to talk a little bit about what an alpha is. See, people always think the alpha is the biggest and the strongest, right? And especially they always think it's the guy as well. But the alphas in a wolf pack are just mom and dad. Just mom and dad. They're not the meanest, they're not the baddest, they're not the best fighters necessarily. They're the elders. They're the smartest, they're the teachers. And they love their pack. They don't run around alpha rolling them and beating them up to show them that they're the strongest. They actually take care of them. Now our first alpha, her name was Taboo, and she was a female. She was tied up for a year of her life in a backyard. She had a really bad reputation for being incredibly aggressive and wanting to attack everything she saw. And so everyone said that she needed to be locked up, she couldn't be around people. But Paula and I didn't believe that. And we started working with her, and over the years she learned to start to trust. Now when she was on a leash and she saw another dog, because she'd been tied up in a backyard for a year of her life and she hadn't seen another dog, she was afraid of it. It's just like you guys going out into the world and meeting a person for the first time. What if someone locked you in a house and you hadn't seen anyone? You're going to be fearful of them, right? And that fear sometimes turns into aggression because you don't know what to do. And she was on a leash, she couldn't run away, so she tried to attack. But it wasn't really aggression, it came out of fear, like all aggression really comes out of fear. So we worked with Taboo and slowly she learned to trust. She learned to trust other dogs, she learned to trust the other wolves, and she became this loving and benevolent leader. And when she came to Apex, every new wolf that we rescued that came into our pack, she would take them under her wing and she would help them. She would care for them, and she would teach the others how to do that too. She never attacked or growled fiercely at anyone. She just was like a good mama, right? She'd give them that look, and they'd be like, okay. And she taught everyone, and she actually raised Thor and Loki. When we rescued them, they were 3.5 weeks old. We were bottle feeding them, and Taboo and her and another one of our rescues called Kona, they took these guys under their wing, and Taboo taught these guys everything that we taught her in 2 years. She taught them in 2 months. And she started to raise the entire pack. 3 years ago, Taboo passed away. We rushed her to the emergency room. She went into surgery and she didn't make it. It was heartbreaking for everybody, and nobody knew what had actually happened to her. And we wondered, if that would happen again. I mean, they're not a wild pack, they're not a family. A pack in the wild is a family with 2 parents and they're in charge. Ours had an adopted parent, and they all came from different backgrounds, just like you guys did. So we wondered, is someone going to step up? Is someone going to be the leader of this pack now? And well, Loki over here, kind of like in the movies, he always wanted to shout at the title. He always wanted to be the boss of somebody, right? Anybody know anybody like that? Any people out here want to be the boss of somebody all the time? Yeah, well that was Loki, right? And he would march around, and after Taboo passed away, he's like, you may worship me, I am the boss now. And he challenged Kona, who is like his older brother, and he kind of got his booty kicked. It didn't go well. And then he challenged Selena, one of the other females, and again, didn't work out too well for Loki because he was going about it the wrong way. He was trying to bully his way to the top. He was trying to be a leader by being the tough guy because that's what he thought a good leader should be, right? They should boss everybody around, they should be tough. Didn't work out too well for him because nobody respected that. So the one wolf in our pack who actually did not want to be the leader, the one wolf was like, I don't need this responsibility because it's a big responsibility. That was Thor. Thor ended up being chosen by our pack to be the leader. And now Thor, because he was raised by Taboo, has become this beautiful, loving, gentle leader. And we have an exercise board at Apex, so we take them out on hikes every day, and we have this big half-acre turnout where they all go to play, right? And on the exercise board, it has all the names of who got out that day. And everybody gets out 2 or 3 times a day if we can. Thor gets out about 14 times a day. The reason Thor gets out 14 times a day is because he's teaching the new ones how to behave, how to be off leash. He's firm and he's loving, but he's never aggressive towards them, and they all love him because of who he is. And so he has become the teacher, which is what the alpha really is, which is what the leader really is. He supports the rest of his pack and all the newcomers by being loving, bringing them into the pack, showing them how to be a wolf, teaching them how to be off leash on a hike, teaching them manners. And he plays with them, just like a wild wolf pack. A lot of the dads and the moms, they play with the kids just like humans do. And so he's become this incredible leader. But here's the surprise in this story. Don't feel sorry for Loki, because he didn't get to be the boss. Because 3 years ago, we went on a rescue, and we ended up rescuing 15 puppies. And 6 of them came to Apex to live with us. And guess what? One of the most important jobs in a wolf pack is actually being the nanny. The nanny gets to play, because wolves love kids, just like humans love kids. So being a nanny in a wolf pack means you get to see the pups first, you get to go down into the den and take care of the mother and help with the puppies when the mom goes on a hunt. Loki found out what his strength was. Loki was a nanny. And that nanny, he was so proud of himself. He started taking care of those puppies. They would follow him around everywhere. He would march around. He was so proud. He would clean them and bathe them and play with them and discipline them and teach them. And he became this beautiful leader of this little pack of wolves. And so the point being, and now he has his own pack, and he's kind of like second in command now with Thor. But he's found his position. The point being is, you don't always know what you're supposed to be in life, and sometimes you're given these gifts. In this case, it was these puppies, and these puppies taught him to be a man. They taught him to be respectful, and they taught him to take care of another being. And so now he's become this beautiful, loving leader of his own little pack. We call it the Loki pack. And we don't even let Thor play with the Loki pack because, it's Loki's pack, and we want him to feel like he has his own. But he's become such a beautiful leader. So, like I said, sometimes in life, you don't want the position and you end up taking it and becoming the best at it. Sometimes you want that position and you don't get it, and something else comes along and you realize what you're meant to do in your life.